Retirement is not what it used to be. Gone are the days of people quitting the workforce in their 70s. Now, more seniors who are seeking a change of pace are doing what's called unretiring. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
And I'm Erin LeBeau. So during the pandemic, more than 4 million workers retired. But over the past year and a half or so, 1.5 million came back to work. So the question is, why are people coming out of retirement and what impact is it having on the job market?
Yeah, I think this is really interesting. Well, joining us now to talk more about it is a business and workplace expert, Stephanie Carrillo. Hi there, Stephanie. Nice to have you with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Camarillo, correct?
Yes, that's
Sorry
right.
about that. I'm always so I want to get names right. All right, Stephanie, let me ask you something. What is driving more people to come out of retirement these days and then go back to work?
Well, Tom Brady kind of brought this conversation to light, didn't he? Yeah, and back in the summer when he decided to retire, and then he decided to unretire. So it turns out there are lots of folks that are giving this thought right now. We're in such a difficult economy. The stock market's a roller coaster. Inflation has meant that our money doesn't go as far, and many people's 401ks and retirement plans have been cut in half just in the last 6 months. So we're really looking at, what does the future hold?
I love how you kind of expanded on the part that many people were kind of forced to go back into the workforce rather than Tom Brady, who at this point can do anything he chooses to do. But is there a mental health aspect to this and people just being around other people and wanting to go back to work because of that?
Oh, there sure is. With COVID, of course, we were all locked up and isolated for 2 years. And now we have lots of people in retirement that are watching their friends and their neighbors actually return to work. Yeah. And turns out work is a great place to socialize. So many folks are also, they might not have to, out of necessity, go back to work, but like Tom Brady, they want to connect. And so they're choosing to go back into the workforce for that reason.
Well, let me ask you this. So Tom Brady didn't have one, but if you worked at a desk job for more than 50 or 60 years, a lot of people might be reluctant to return to that same exact grind or environment every day. So how can people like that find new job opportunities?
Well, COVID speeded up a transition that was already happening. And that is this idea of a much more flexible way that we look at work. So there's so many opportunities. Folks can work from home. You can work part-time. You can start your own business. Some are going to work for other contract services like Fiverr or Upwork. There's never been a better time to really look at redefining yourself.
Okay, Stephanie, talk a little bit about that. What types of jobs, though, are out there for people who may be in their 70s but don't want that traditional 9 to 5?
The book that I love is actually an old book. It's called What Color is Your Parachute? It was published back in the 1970s, but it's been updated every year since that time. What I love about that book is that it's helpful for folks that are just, getting out of college or folks that are thinking about getting back out of retirement. It helps you identify what you like to do, who you are, what your skill sets are, and what you're passionate about. So I encourage others to take a look at that and also look at places that you're interested in. What are those restaurants that you go to you really enjoy? Or do you have a shop that you go to every Saturday and you just really love that work environment? This is a time to try on new things and to experiment.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Well, so let me ask you, from the employer standpoint, what are some of the benefits to hiring workers who want to come out of retirement and come with all those years of different types of experience?
So this is a golden opportunity for businesses. I hope business owners are listening right now, because we've been chasing, folks during the Great Resignation. And then, now we're dealing with Gen Xers and millennials who may be at work, but they're kind of quiet quitting or not. Maybe they don't even want to be at work. Well, folks, here is a whole group of people that are talented, they're knowledgeable, and they want to go to work. So pretty soon, I expect that business owners are going to be tracking down mature workers, trying to reel them back in.
Okay, so overall, Stephanie, would you say that an older workforce is a positive thing?
So it's not just a positive thing. An older workforce is a necessity because guess what? Our population is aging. Younger people are not having children like they used to. And so the statistic is staggering. By 2040, the average age of a U.S. citizen will be 40 years old. There are going to be so many jobs opening up that younger folks can't fill them all. We're going to need that mature workforce to step in and fill that gap.
It really is great. Stephanie, thank you for talking about this. Unretiring, I feel like we're going to have a lot more people looking into that, that's for sure, with a lot of opportunities out there.
Thank you.
Thanks.